Okay, guys and gals, I hope you like Marlians because we're here in Game 3 of the Golden League 2 Round 3 final. Here on Basin, Beastie picking Marlians for a third time in 3 games. Marine Lord picking Marlians a second time in 3 games. And our players opting for similar openings. No early barracks here, pit mines galore to start with. Both only going single scout as well. Other matchups, it's quite common to see dual scout openings, and on Rus it's common to see 3 scout openings if there's no water on the map, but at the moment it looks like our player's going to sit on 2 scouts and look at taking to warrior scouts as quickly as possible just to get that little bit of bonus damage, that lovely 7 damage increase for the scouts. I reckon every upgrade in the game should be damage. No health upgrades. That shit's boring. So 6 houses apiece here. Basin's a funky map, man. Gotta walk through the valley of death to get to your opponent. So what are we likely to see here? Probably a stables first from both players, followed up by either another stables or a barracks, and then the player who sticks with double stables will probably commit to a range, while the player that goes barrack stables likely to add either a second barracks or stables. If that sounded just like a word salad to you, well, I guess you're never making it out of Gold League. So we've got the Mansa Quarry going up from Beastie. Mansa Quarry going up from Marine Lord. Come on guys, give us a bit of build diversity here. Oh, look at all that action, all that lack of action, until these guys actually get some military production out. So now they're just getting a bit of a read on one of another's bases, trying to grab the last couple of sheep off the map, and figure out where all these juicy resources that they're going to have to fight over are. So a lot of gold here, sort of just slightly off center of the map. And wood is actually a bit of a toughie on this map too. Particularly like in Beastie's situation here. Where, I mean, as much as it serves as a bit of a front line for him, the fact that this is his only sort of natural wood sources, other than maybe this clump over here, which is pretty shitty, there's a lot of emphasis on having to try and push out once you get to Castle Age onwards on a map like this. Marine Lord, while his base is quite exposed here at the front, and pretty lucky with that sacred site position though, it's going to mean that his wood lines are quite tough to actually get on top of. On top of that, it looks like these little shitty peripheral wood lines are overall a little bit more value than this one over here for Beastie. I'm not even counting that because that's just, man, that's just fucking disgusting. That's like this crap over here. So we are seeing Warrior Scout being trained up and then Scouts being trained. Last game, Marine Lord able to put a lot of pressure on from the get-go around the pit mine. But this game, not so sure it's going to be the same, considering Beastie Gold Mine sort of on the rear side of his base, and Marine Lords as well. Not the easiest of places to get to. So I think compared to the last game, we'll probably see a faster Castle Age transition from our players. They might even just completely leapfrog, fighting with, you know, big numbers of Warrior Scouts and Donso here. He's going for Wheelbarrow. Is he going to get professional scouts again? Because he did last game, but it is a pretty big investment overall. It's, you know, 350 resources just to more or less have the chance to safely pull back all your deer, give yourself a little bit of quicker gathering on that, and potentially try and steal a deer herd off your opponent. This is nice for Beastie. He's going to draw a bit of blood here, picking off that villager. See if we're going to be able to save the Warrior Scout by the looks of things. So a bit of an inverse to the start of last game, where Marine Lord was really able to work away at the first pit mine of Beasties from about 5 minutes in. With this game, Beastie able to get the first bit of eco damage off. Close to being able to get a little bit more off here. He's probably feeling a lot more comfortable in this one than he was last. I have to wonder if he is going to bother with survival techniques, or if he's just going to make that little bit more of an investment in army early on here. Because ultimately, trying to steal a hunt off your opponent, as much as it's baked into the game, it is a little bit cheesy. It is a very big risk. Beastie going on the large gold mine there, because it is going to allow for more house production and overall a stronger pit mine. Like, he won't be maxing out at 102 gold, I think it'd be more like 140 on the large mines. This is sort of going to have to take him defending this, or being reliant on Marine Lord not scouting this while Beastie's putting the pressure on here. And with early Donso production for Beastie, while Marine Lord just starting on his Donso production now, it's going to mean Beastie's got a slight advantage here. He overall does have a little bit more military pop, and does have that one extra villager of over his opponent too. He's got a couple of units here back to defend, really ramping up that pit mine value. And the beauty of doing this, I mean, on other civs it's inefficient to have any more than 5 to 10 free population. You know, just because you're investing in houses you do not need yet. On Mali, because they're generating you resources, it's, you know, very rare from this point onwards to be housed up until, you know, you sort of get to like that late age 2 stage and you manage to drag out age 2 rather than going for a quick castle or doing the same in castle age. But I mean, you can always just throw the houses down around the pit mine before you've actually built the bloody thing. And then on top of that, you can always just, you know, build them at home like a regular house somewhere. So what's this cap out at? How many houses he got there? 11. Is that only giving him 102? What? There's bloody... What? Surely that's not right. Oh, it's bumping up as they stay alive. Okay, fair enough. It takes a while for this to actually be accurate. I don't know why, but it just is. But yeah, getting on top of one of those big pit mines will be good for Beastie. On top of that, he's forcing Marine Lord to have to keep some Donso at home, and a couple of these houses are probably going to fall before they get repaired, or at least one of them will be. Beastie keeping mobile, making it hard for Marine Lord to actually send any villagers to gather from the gold mine too, so committing to an early castle age sort of going to be out of the question here for both players, I think, with Beastie investing so much extra wood to get the boost in gold trickle, and conversely also having a much bigger gold trickle at 140 rather than 100 out of that pit mine. He's putting good pressure on, and he's making it tough for Marine Lord to gather a lot of gold and try and get to castle terribly quickly. Now on top of that, with both of them producing a lot of units, it's going to be a while before they've got the food to get there as well. You know, you're saving up about nearly 2 minutes worth of food at this point for Marine Lord, or, you know, just over a minute for Beastie. But they're still wanting to ramp up that production, so it's not all just going in the bank. So now Marine Lord pushing out. He's got a nice mix of archers, Donso, and the warrior scouts here. He's got 2 barracks, stables, and the range. Beastie, dual barracks and stables. No range for him just yet by the look of it. So in a way, even though he's slightly up on kill value, I think he's still slightly waiting for this gold trickle to pull ahead of his opponents. Oh, it's exactly 140. Man, Artie, you're so good at maths. Actually, that was just a completely wild guess, guys. So will it all come down to the fact that Beastie sniped a single villager in feudal? Or is Marine Lord gonna be able to swing the destruction value back in his favor and really hamper Beastie here? Ooh, this is a nice engagement for Beastie, and I think he's just trying to make sure that the archers can't stay still long enough to pick off the Donso. Ooh, and the rest of the force of Beasties joining the fray here. A lot of Donso going to be able to cut through the scouts, and in fact there's not really much of a front line left for the range ball here for Marine Lord. Beastie able to sneak in Farimba Garrison behind this too, because I think he still hasn't committed to a 4th production facil, while Marine Lord has. So in a way it seems like committing to the 4th production facil and not absolutely winning the fight just kills you, because it holds up your castle age here. Beastie backing off a little bit. So Marine Lord going to be able to deal quite a bit of damage, open up that destruction value lead. But Beastie hitting castle is going to be very scary for Marine Lord, because you can now get some nice upgrades, like veteran upgrades on all of his units. And if he has the range, well, I mean, even from the garrison, he can go for archers. And then poison once he gets the range. So, well, Marine Lord, a lot of nice damage here. He's taking out that pit mine and a lot of these houses now. So what's the plan here from Beastie to turn this around? He's down on army size as well. It looks like his overall army value is higher. I suppose warrior scouts are what, 10 resources more than both Donsos and archers? Oh no, they're 90 as well, so an improved spearman. Nice counter attack here from Beastie, which is going to force Marine Lord to have to commit his Donso to trying to clean this up. Warrior Scout's going to make it out alive though. It's really paid off there for Beastie. At the same time, Marine Lord, great job in cleaning all this up. It's a lot of wood down the drain for Beastie. But now Marine Lord's having to commit to his castle age. So I think this is going to give Beastie the space to catch up on the army size now. And on top of that, he's able to add imams to heal up low units and try and get control of the relics and the sacreds. Beastie just keeping tabs on the other large gold mine there as well. It's just managing to repair that mining camp in time. Gonna be able to start placing all the houses in the pit mine once again. So Marine Lord now in Castle Age, getting the mosque. That players having taken a couple of armory upgrades piece here, but Beastie's actually just slightly behind in that regard, only having melee damage, while Marine Lord both melee damage and range damage. But Beastie has the advantage here. He's got veteran upgrades on his Warrior Scout and his archers already. Marine Lord just waiting on veteran archer to kick in here. Veteran Donso already has. No upgrade in his Warrior Scouts, and while this is all going on, Marine Lord losing a few villagers back at home. This nice raid with the Warrior Scouts from Beastie, so he's really opened up that worker lead now from 1 to 9, so starting to be very significant. In fact, he might be able to pick off one more villager right now, and he is going to have first dibs on the relics, going to shoot up to 3 relics, possibly more. Beastie opting to try and steal the most distant relics, which is very big brain because it's going to deny Marine Lord the opportunity to get any relics. And I'll have to just focus on the sacred sites. If you can't hold on to them, then the mosque and the imams have been a complete waste. And I think he knows it too. That Beastie, small lead here, could possibly lead into a big one very soon. So Beastie taking his first win of the series.